Hey guys, I'm Aubrey. I'm one of the pastors at Foundry Church. I want to welcome you to our Holy Week reflections. Today is Good Friday, and it is the day that we remember Jesus dying on the cross. And so Easter is coming, but today is actually meant to be a somber day and a little different kind of reflection. It will be the day that the disciples feel as though they are losing hope. And so we want to remember this as the disciples would remember it or have experienced it in their time. And so I encourage you to go and read the scripture that goes along with this first, and then come back and join me for this reflection. So today we begin with a warning that today doesn't resolve. Today there really is no happy ending. Today is messy. Be reminded that the old story says that in the beginning God creates a garden to dwell in, and in this garden perfect communion existed between God and his creation. The garden party is the image of the original banquet and the original family of God that gathers around a table together. But sin and relational separation find ways to destroy what God says is good. The relational bond is torn, and the family of God is at odds with each other, and the garden is abandoned. So today, Good Friday actually begins with last night, and last night ended in a garden. Last night, Jesus brought us to the upper room and gathered around a table to tell us something important, to tell us that something bigger is afoot. But we didn't listen. We wanted the table to be about something that it wasn't. We ignored what Jesus tried to tell us, and we resented each other. We left the table behind, and Jesus took us to a garden. But this garden feels different than before. In the garden, Jesus cries out, "My Father, if it's possible, take this cup of suffering away from me." We ask ourselves, is this another bizarre reference to the imagery from the things that Jesus was saying around the table last night that brought so much confusion? And then the Romans, they come to take Jesus away, and Judas betrays him with a kiss that's meant to show friendship. And like Judas, the crowds have turned. Only days ago they flocked to him for bread and for healing, and now they're shouting, "Crucify him." We're no better. Last night we dined with Jesus' friends. Now we cower in corners to avoid any risk of being identified with him. Jesus has disrupted the religious economy and the social hierarchy, and in doing so, he's created a trap for himself. Jesus is not who he thought he was. His path is too dangerous right now. His fervor is too strong. He's not leading us to a life of abandonment, but to one that is a march toward death and destruction. And now he hangs naked and bloody on the cross. He's beaten, he's exposed, he's mocked instead of worshipped. Why is this happening? Why has the table been turned over? And Jesus is not abandoning the garden. He's being ripped from it. God's cosmic temple is being turned into the den of robbers, and we find Jesus hanging between two of them. Creation itself seems to be undone, and Jesus allows himself to be nailed to it. There's so many questions. We have so many questions, and Jesus does not fight back. He goes willingly, but why? Why, Jesus, are you surrendering? Why are you throwing it all away? What about this family, this community, this table that you tried to teach us about? What about the garden initiative? What about the restoration that you've brought to so many of your followers? What about those people you healed? Is it just too much? Is there just too much work to be done? Is your kingdom dream, is it just unattainable? Is it too overwhelming? And if nothing else, what about your place of power and privilege that you deserve? You're the Messiah. Your place is seated high on a throne. Why are you throwing that away? Jesus, you cry out. You say, my God, why have you forsaken me? And Jesus, I ask you that same question. Jesus, my God, why have you forsaken me? Like Adam, I ran naked from the garden where you were betrayed. I waited on you, the Messiah, to rise up, and here you are, the great servant, raised above all, sitting on a throne with crowns of thorn or adorning your brow. And we argued over who was the greatest, and here two criminals take the seats of honor. Is death truly your answer? Is death the only relief for a servant? Does the widow with only 2 coins return home to the same fate? Does a man lose his demons only to face this end? Your cup is bitter to drink from. You said that you're the way, the truth, and the life. But your way can seem too hard, and your truth too ugly, and your life ends with bloody death. Thank you for joining us for this reflection. We'll come to you tomorrow with another reflection for Holy Saturday, and then again we'll be there to celebrate Easter morning. Peace be with you, and please continue to observe Holy Week and to reach out to your friends and family during this time. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.